KC Blitz.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to KC Blitz pregame. I'm Dan Lucy alongside of Matt Vereen. For the next half hour or so, we're going to get you ready for the fourth and final preseason game of the exhibition campaign, and the Chiefs will be trying to win and even up their preseason record at 2-2. Last Saturday at home, the Chiefs lost their second straight exhibition game to the 49ers. KC signing free agent DeAnthony Thomas, bringing him back to the Chiefs, and he was getting his first action. Didn't wait long to impact the game, popping the Niners on the opening kickoff and clearly fired up to making plays back here at Arrowhead. 49ers still drove down in the Chiefs' territory, but the Chiefs force a 4th and 1, and Chris Jones bats down the pass to force the turnover, puts the ball in the hands of the offense, and when you've got Damian Williams back for the first time and wasted no time using him, Patrick Mahomes on the screen, and he would go 66 yards to the house. And a theme of returning players stepping up. Chiefs up 7-0. But with 4:30 left in the opening quarter, Jimmy Garoppolo would expose the secondary. Reggie Ragland and Javarius Ward blow the assignment on Matt Breida. He makes a great diving touchdown catch. That tied the game up. San Francisco goes on to win. The final was 27-17.
Now, kicker Harrison Butker earned 5 of the Chiefs' points in that game, and while criticism of kickers seems rampant, one place you won't find it is Kansas City. This summer, the Chiefs even signed Butker for the foreseeable future, and when you look back at his winding journey to Arrowhead, it's plain to see that Chiefs Kingdom found a good one.
And, oh, he hits the upright again! That's impossible!
Having a dependable kicker in the NFL is important. Just ask the Chicago Bears. Luckily for Chiefs Kingdom, Harrison Butker has shown a distinct ability to avoid the posts. But Kansas City's faith in Butker came long before he was splitting playoff goalposts. In his career at Georgia Tech, the Georgia native converted 72% of his field goals and 99% of extra points.
And the kick is good. And Georgia Tech knocks off the Hokies in Blacksburg.
But kickers aren't taken high in the draft often, and Butker had to wait until the 7th round to hear his name called.
With the 233rd pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Harrison Butker, kicker, Georgia Tech. Keep pounding!
The first kicker ever drafted by Carolina, he initially put some pressure on veteran Graham Gano, but despite a good camp showing, Gano reclaimed his spot atop the depth chart, forcing Butker to the practice squad. That is, until late September of 2017, when the Chiefs scooped him up.
You know, obviously a big stage, but you got to treat it like any other game. And also, I've heard it's a loud, exciting, vibrant stadium, so really looking forward to that. But all good things. I mean, what a way to start my career, so looking forward to it.
The Chiefs were in desperate need of a kicker after sending Cairo Santos to the injured reserve list, and Butker immediately filled the gap. Just 2 weeks after being signed, the rookie came up huge in his NFL debut.
His kick is good!
I didn't have butterflies, you know, I felt confident. I knew Dustin Hopkins was going to make the kick. I knew it was going to come down to a field goal. I felt pretty calm, you know. I mean, I was excited, I wasn't nervous, I didn't have butterflies, and, you know, I hit the ball well.
From there, the legend of Harrison Butt Kicker Butker began. He hit 91% of field goals in 2017 with a perfect 28-28 on extra points. Then in 2018, he hit the 90% mark again as a key piece of the league's best offense. So when this offseason came around, Butker finally got the commitment he deserved all along.
Last year there were so many unknowns. You know, it was very difficult. But now I feel a little better knowing that, like, I've proved myself last year, like, I can do it. I deserve to be here.
That proof of belonging came in the form of a 5-year, $20 million deal for one of the league's most consistent kickers.
Oh, it means a ton. They trust me. They have faith in me. I'm so happy to be a Kansas City Chief, and I'm working my butt off to produce and be the best kicker that I can be. But it means a lot. I'm happy to be here. I love it in Kansas City, so it means a lot to me.
And with that vote of confidence, Butker will hope to keep kicking butts in Arrowhead for years to come.
I love KC, and I feel like I'll never leave this place.
Coming up next, DeAnthony Thomas' dad is on a mission to prove he's more than just a speedy wide receiver. We'll have his journey to make the 53-man roster next. Welcome back to the Blitz. Week 4 of the preseason means we get to see a lot of guys that are fighting for a spot on the 53-man roster. One of those guys is a speedster that has already made plenty of plays in a Chiefs uniform. Dan Lidblad has more at DeAnthony Thomas and his journey back to Arrowhead Stadium.
It's been a while since Chiefs fans have heard the name DeAnthony Thomas. His best season statistically, 2017, when he caught 14 passes for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Chiefs released Thomas at the end of last season, but when the wide receiver depth took a hit, the Chiefs knew who they needed to call.
Thomas will take it to the house.
Thomas knew all along where he wanted to be.
I love KC, and I feel like I'll never leave this place.
He's done it all for the Chiefs in 5 seasons. 503 receiving yards, 186 rushing yards, more than 1,900 return yards, and 9 tackles, making the most out of every opportunity.
Andy Reid, you know, his mind moves like 100 miles an hour, so he always throwing different stuff in, but I've always been a contributor to all the teams I've been on, so just getting back to just contributing, whether it's on special teams, offense, and just making plays and just doing whatever I can to help this team out.
In 2018, Thomas suffered a fractured leg injury which ended his season, and for the time being, his time with the Chiefs. That until Marcus Kemp went down with an ACL-MCL injury against the Steelers in Week 2 of the preseason. The Black Mamba already testing the waters of a career outside of the gridiron.
I met this one track coach, and he presented to me like, he seen me run one time, and he presented like, man, I got to get you ready for the indoors. I just seen it as another challenge, so I was just, whatever one came first, and this opportunity came, so now I'm just dialed in on this and focusing on just getting, back to doing what I do.
The hard work and dedication paid off on Saturday.
And DeAnthony Thomas, in his first play back in a Chiefs uniform, makes the play.
While Thomas instantly won't top the depth chart or get the numbers of carries he has in the past, his coaches believe his impact on the team won't go unnoticed.
He was pound for pound probably our toughest player that we had, last year early in the season, and until he got hurt. But yeah, he does a lot more than he's not just a returner. He's a cover guy. He's a gunner. He's good on kickoff, and he can block. And he's not afraid to stick his head in there.
He's been with our organization for a number of years. He knows the culture. He knows the system. He understands how we do things. So it's important to get somebody back, but also somebody that can bring some juice. This kid loves to play football. He loves to practice. He enjoys it. That's the type of people and character that we want.
Thomas says the first few years of his career has been a whirlwind, and from here on out, he's going to try to take the time to cast a line or two.
I love fishing too, so fishing is real big out here, I guess. So, and I'm making it to where I'm just enjoying my life.
Thomas didn't have any receptions, rushing attempts, or returns against the 49ers. We'll have to see if the Chiefs try to get him the ball more tonight. Dan and Matt, back over to you.
Footwork and hands. Let's work it. Know who we're working to, guys. Know who we're working to.
Coming up, Travis Kelce gets mic'd up at practice as KC Blitz returns in a moment. Now, Dan, if you're looking for the biggest personality on the Chiefs team, my money is on Travis Kelce. I mean, how can you pick any other guy than the host of entertainment television's Catching Kelce dating show? So when you strap a mic on old 87, you know it's going to be a good time.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Oh, yeah, we attacking it. I love it. We got to say something like, never do a Slim Jim. All right, no, what is it? Oh, yeah, all right, you ready? Bring the energy. Bring the energy. Ah! Yeah! Woo! I can see you playing a character in Game of Thrones for sure. You'd be like a guy that tries to kill the king. I'm the king of the castle now. Hey, footwork and hands. Let's work it. Know who we're working to, guys. Know who we're working to. Y'all gonna make some plays? Come on, back it back. Hey, how are ya? Hey, Cam. Wait, what? Shermer. I see you, 8217.
How are you, bud?
Yeah.
That's nice.
That was a little extra.
You like that?
He's come on, man. Give me a wave if you're on the hill. Can you hear this? Give me a wave if you can hear this on the hill.
Where's that? Who's waving? Where's that?
Oh, there he is, right there. See him?
No.
See him right there, to the left of the gate.
Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy. Having this off. Sherman! Yeah, baby!
Guys, you know who the best roommate in camp is? Travis Kelce.
Let's go, baby. You guys want to know who the second best roommate in camp is? The Sausage.
Hands up. Here goes. Zeus on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Zeus. Let's go, baby.
Man, they should not give him a microphone. So what do linemen do for fun at camp when they're not on the practice field or in position meetings? Well, as our friends at 65 TPT found out, they enjoy showing off their culinary skills in the Chiefs' kitchen.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt McMullen here with the Chiefs Cafeteria Challenge, joined here by Khalil McKenzie and Andrew Wiley. Gonna make some pizzas for one another and see if they can guess what ingredients are on these pizzas. You guys ready to go?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Cool, let's do it.
So at first we're gonna start with some Cheez-Its. Everybody loves Cheez-Its.
So there's some real nasty stuff back there. There's some bologna, some beets. You got animal crackers back there you could throw on, and then there's syrup and honey and stuff.
Oh, do we have beets? Is this beets right here?
Beets.
Oh yes. We gotta have beets because we're still athletes,
You've seen the ingredients. What's the one ingredient out of those that you do not want on your pizza?
I do not want bologna mixed with candy on my pizza.
What if you had to name this pizza, what would you name it?
I think I'd go with the Max Special.
Yo,
this might be the best pizza.
I had 6 different people come up to me saying, "Oh, you're in for a treat."
Just take the biggest bite you possibly can. Absolute biggest bite.
I don't want.
You won't regret it. It's so good. Big piece. Yeah, there you go.
Did you put bologna on there?
There is bologna.
Something that got burnt. That's kind of crunchy.
Oh, okay. What do you think it could possibly be? It's a type of cheese.
Cheese it?
Yeah.
Yes, the cheese also was crunchy.
Yeah.
You can't pay me to take another bite of that.
All right, guys, you had a chance to make pizzas on your own, but let's let the pros handle this. Better ingredients, better pizzas. Let's put some Papa John's down here and see how you guys like that.
Thank you.
All right. That's bad boy.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy. No hard feelings.
Yeah, not at all.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen a lineman hesitant to eat pizza. When we come back, we'll check in on the enemy, the Green Bay Packers, KC Blitz. We'll be right back.
Despite losing the game on Saturday night, the Kansas City Chiefs also lost backup quarterback Chad Henne, the second stringer behind Patrick Mahomes, broke his right ankle. Monday, the Chiefs hit the free agent market and signed Matt Moore. And don't look for the former Miami Dolphin to see any action tonight. Not only does he not know any of the plays, but the fourth exhibition games are for the youngsters to prove that they're worthy of staying on the roster because the cuts are coming this weekend. Moore practiced for the first time this week and says that there is a lot of work to do.
I really didn't expect a call. The learning curve it's going to be fast, and I mean, shoot, the regular season's right around the corner, so it's got to be pretty firm, and I gotta get with it pretty quick. So I really didn't expect a call, but I mean, sure, there's some thoughts that this may never happen, and then when it happens, you're like, hey, let's go.
Now, the Kansas City Chiefs will renew their rivalry with the Green Bay Packers tonight. Of course, these two met in the very first Super Bowl, or the NFL-AFL championship game.
I did not cover that.
You did not?
No,
I can tell you I didn't either, if you were wondering. Now, tonight's game will be nowhere near as important as that championship game. Being the fourth preseason game, starters won't even put their shoulder pads on. So no Patrick Mahomes, no Travis Kelce. You won't see Aaron Rodgers either. The Packers have a whole new look in the coaching staff. Matt LaFleur is the new coach, and they've renovated the defensive side of the ball as well. Kenny Clark in the middle of a tough defensive line. Offensively, of course, Aaron Rodgers is back for his 15th season in the green and gold. Green Bay will try to improve on last season's 6-9-1 campaign. The Packers will be the first team to kick off the 2019 season when they play their rival Chicago at Soldier Field on Thursday, September 5th.
You know, I was looking at that. The Green Bay Packers have played all of their exhibition games on Thursday night in preparation for that opener. Yeah,
that's kind of smart.
Yeah, and the NFL probably likes them a little bit. We want to remind everyone that Art Haynes, the voice of the Bears, and the pregame voice of the Chiefs, along with Ned Reynolds, who did probably cover that first Super Bowl game back in the 60s.
Yeah, he's old enough.
They're back this season for the regular season KC Blitz show. They will break down the previous game, chat with current and former Chiefs, and look ahead to the next game. It's going to air on Saturday nights at 8:30 on KOZL Z27 right here, starting on September 7th. And that is going to wrap it up for KC Blitz and for our 4 pregame shows. Thanks for watching all of these games, and we're going to go now to Lambeau Field again. This is week 4, so you're not going to see any of the starters, but look and see that fight for these guys as they try to earn roster spots. Second string, third string guys fighting for a position on this team. For Matt, I'm Dan. Have a great night, everybody, and enjoy the game.